Please give it up for Gwynne Backers.
Hi, everybody. I'm not sure this is right about there. It's good. Well, let's see. Ooh, a lot of people out there. By a show of applause, how many people in the audience live alone? Great, so quite a few. So you guys know how it is. I mean, I like living alone and all, but I tend to get really addicted to TV, especially the retro stuff. You know, it's pretty sad when your only love interests are Perry Mason and Kojak. I also tend to get seriously housebound, which is okay most of the time, as long as the ropes aren't too tight. But living alone really does give me, total freedom in a certain sense. I mean, I can board up to 3 of my horses in my living room and still have room for the hay. When I got my first clinical depression, I had to move home with my folks, which really sucked because they gave me a curfew. It got really pricey to bribe my friends to sleep in my bed while I was out clubbing, disco dancing. I wasn't sexy enough for my shirt, though. The depression got so bad at one point, though, that I had daily fantasies of ending it all with pills. But it's really hard to OD on Flintstone vitamins. Besides, it really confused my shrink to see me running through the ward, wielding my club, yelling, "Yabba dabba doo!" Then there was my dad. He was self-educated, and boy did he read some deep books, man. War and Peace, Of Human Bondage, Pride and Prejudice, Ulysses. Oh, and Playboy magazine. They were so heavy duty, he actually bought a wheelbarrow to cart them around. Oh yeah, that was just the stacks of Playboys, sorry. Growing up, my big dream was to become an actress. But my dad, the dream killer, said, "Gwen, if you want to become a professional, you have to practice 24 hours a day." Well, folks, I really tried, okay? But after a month on no-dose and Vivarin, I realized it was impossible. So I ended up doing secretarial work, and I had to deal with multiple deadlines, multitasking to the max, lots of pressure. So my head doctor put me on Valium to calm me down. Well, it really worked, I'm telling you. I mean, the pressure was exactly the same. I just didn't give a crap anymore. Then there were the temp jobs. So I'm working for this high-level executive, and I just wanted to run out of there screaming one day. I mean, casual Thursdays, I get it. I mean, great, fantastic. Dressing in casual clothes, But naked Fridays? I just kept my eyes glued to my boss's fedora, because that was all he had on. I've had my share of panic attacks too. One came on me at the office one morning, and I just wanted to run out of there, get in my car, get home, cozy up, and turn on the TV. I hate missing Let's Make a Deal. My company didn't know what to do with me either, so I got passed up the ladder from counselor to psychiatrist to psychiatric neurologist to a neurologist. I was really paranoid by this time. You know your doctor's out to get you when she orders you to type In a straitjacket? And talk about cheap. I only rated the budget version of ECT, you know, electroconvulsive therapy for the uninitiated. They actually put my finger into a light socket and turned the switch on, and nothing happened. Just recently I got a job doing office work again, and I hated it so much. To get out of it, I fell down some stairs, got 2 black eyes, a broken nose, and a bruised elbow. True story. Next time, maybe I'll just quit. Change the subject here, folks, but I am a breast cancer survivor. And like many survivors, I went through the chemo infusion, and it does take quite a while. So when you gotta go, you unplug yourself from the machine and you wheel it down with the rod and everything down to the restroom. I look like a pole dancer on life support. I must have been pretty good though, because I got lots of tips. Anyway, I'm glad that's over. But they've made amazing advances in breast prosthesis. I mean, some are actually now temperature-controlled stick-ons. No bra needed. True story. And next year, they're coming out with pre-installed Wi-Fi. Growing up, my sisters and I were super competitive, and at 58, I was the very last one to get the big BC. Yep, we all got it, all 5. But I did have the biggest tumor, and well, aren't some things just worth waiting for? But back in the day, there wasn't much on top, and my mom said, wait till you're 16, Gwynne, you'll have them. Well, I was 13 then. 16 came and went. She said, wait till you're 18. They'll pop right out there, I promise. Well, I knew my mom was wrong when I hit 40 and I was still waiting. I waited 40 more years for boobs, and then with the slice of the scalpel, the pair were gone. You'd think I'd be depressed, but the fact of the matter is I finally qualified for the club. Yep, I am an official member of Joggers Without Jugs. I'm monitored all the time now, so I recently had to go for my PET scan. I won't tell you what that stands for, but anyway. And the test report mentioned something called an SUV. I was thrilled. I thought I had a RAV4 growing inside of me. But it turned out it was just a used 1998 Dodge Durango. Then the wiki results said SUV meant standardized uptake value, which goes from 0 to 15. Wouldn't you know it, I only scored 4.5. Next time I'll study harder. The previous PET result was really boring. Everything showed up mild, unremarkable, non-existent. Kind of like my sex life. Only there's no cure for that. Well, there is, but it usually costs about $50 an hour. It did remind me of college, though. I mean, medically, the numbers sucked, but for a GPA, well, let's just say, can you actually graduate summa cum tumor? I guess I could try online dating, but on second thought, I think I'd rather have a tumor. And unlike a man, a tumor never wants to abandon you. And tumors are way better listeners. And if you work really hard, you can even train them to keep the toilet seat down. It's amazing, but having breast cancer has actually improved my depression. I mean, compared to the previous doom and gloom ruminations I had, this material is far superior. And my panic attacks have resumed too. What a high! I mean, they were so much more intense. It's like I'm actually taking flight. And it doesn't even count against my frequent flyer miles. That's my time, folks. You've been great. Thank you.